Hello everyone, welcome back to Mad About Cards and Crafts. Today I'm sharing this adorable Christmas card featuring the gift of love, the gift of joy, and the gift of peace. Those are three little angel sets from 7 Kids Craft Store. They are positively adorable. I have stamped them out onto Bristol vellum cardstock. I am going to be coloring with my Polychromo pencils. I stamped them using VersaFine ink. I will start by showing you a little bit of the coloring. I did leave a good portion of it in. I'm using, as I said, my Polychromo pencils. This one is called Fuchsia. So fuchsia will be my darkest color, and I am just coloring in where I want my shadows to be, and I'm not being very heavy-handed with the fuchsia. Next, I will come in with Pink Matter Lake, and then I will blend those two together, and that will be the color of this particular angel's dress. These stamps, I believe they're about a little less than $6 a piece. They are so sweet. I was so thrilled when I got my design team package and saw that Kelly had included these adorable angels in the collection. So they were super fun to color. I have not used my Polychromo pencils in a very long time. If any of you have colored with colored pencils, you know that it does take a minute to blend and to use them. One of the tricks is to make sure that you keep your pencils sharp. So I have a pencil sharpener. It was one of my favorite things of 2019, the pencil sharpener was. I will list it in the description box below, but I do go over to that pencil sharpener quite frequently and sharpen the pencils. I'll leave a little bit of white space. I'll reinforce some of the coloring, and then in that white space I'm going to add a light magenta, and then I will go back over it again with that Pink Matter Lake. For this little angel, I'm going to be using a couple of red tones. I had a paper pad in front of me and I was inspired by the colors in the paper pad. I didn't end up using the paper pad, but it did inspire the colors that I used for this particular project. My darkest color here is going to be a middle cadmium, and that's what I will do my shading with. And then I will finish it off with a deep scarlet. And then I'm going to color that little sash eventually. And when I color the sash, I decided that I wanted to bring in a little bit of gold. So when I'm doing my shadows are going to be under that sash. They're going to be in the bottom left hand cornered, a slight little bit in the around the bottom, and then on both the edge underneath the wing and on the side. So I will just deepen that up just a little bit. These Polychromos blend beautifully. They are really on the Bristol vellum. It's effortless. They are so fantastic. I love these pencils. I've been tempted to buy another brand that is actually a step up from this, but I figured I should use what I have, and this has been just a wonderful set, so I am going to stick with these. If you haven't seen the full release from the 7 Kids Craft Store, I would encourage you to head over to Kelly's shop and take a look. This was a super fun release. I absolutely love making Christmas cards. They're my favorite cards to make. As you know, if you've been on my channel for a while, I love slimline cards as well. So this was so fun to make. I enjoyed the coloring. I enjoyed the time that I took to create this card, and I think that that's what crafting is all about. Now I'm coming in with some turquoise colors. I actually have kind of like a greenish blue, and then which is the turquoise color, and then I have a lighter blue that I blend that out with. So the color that you're seeing right now is called cobalt green, and then after I put my shadowing in, I will come back in with light cobalt cobalt turquoise, and I will blend that out. And then I will move on to the little sash, I believe, on the angel with the red, the red angel. And when I do that, then after that I'm going to move on to the wings. So like I said, I'm showing a good portion of the coloring for the highlighting on this one. Where I left the white space, I did bring in my white pencil and I colored that area white just so that that light cobalt turquoise would really, when I blended it out, it would really leave a nice highlight. I'm going to reinforce some of the shadows using that darker cobalt green, and then we'll move on. So I am so happy to be here in Nevada. As you know, I recently left our home in South Dakota to come here for the winter. And the day after I left, we got snow. And then this week they've had more snow, and the low temperature tonight is going to be -4. Today here in Nevada, it was 79. It was windy, but it was 79. We're going to have a low of 40, but tomorrow's our cold day, and our cold day is 68 or 58, I believe, which when you compare that to the teens that they've been having in South Dakota and the snow that I don't have to shovel, I have been one happy girl because I love the heat. I am just so happy when it's warm outside, and I am so grateful that I am here this winter. So when I colored that sash, I used a gold to color that sash, as well as it's called green gold. So the green gold was my dark color and the gold was my light color. And for the wings, I came in with a periwinkle type of blue. It's called sky blue, but to me it looks like a periwinkle blue. And then I used the cobalt green and blended that out, and I thought that it gave the wings a really nice contrast. I'm going to be coloring the faces, and when I color the faces, my lightest color is going to be light flesh, and my darkest color is going to be cinnamon, and I do use all of the same colors on the face and on the hair of all three of the angels. When I start coloring the hair, my darkest color is going to be a Van Dyke brown, and my lightest color is going to be a brown ochre. And I really like the way that these all turned out. Like I said, I enjoy coloring with my Polychromos, and this was so enjoyable. I will take these over to my brother's Scan and Cut, and I will cut them out. I will leave a little bit of a border. I used a little bit of the pink, the light magenta on the cheeks of the angel that looks like her hands are in prayer. That's the peace angel. And then I will also do the same to this angel that I'm coloring as well. So I did put a little bit of pink on their cheeks. I have to tell you, when I finished this card and I finished my photograph, I was so incredibly tempted to get out the stickles and to color those to use it on those wings, but I did refrain. This is the Tim Holtz Shift Stencil. I absolutely love these stencils. I think that they are so fun to use, and I'm trying to find it here. It's called a shifter stencil, and it's called Shifter Tree. So you first put it down on your cardstock. This is Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock. I'm using picked raspberry, and I am going to just do a little bit of stenciling onto this panel. The panel was cut out using a Pink Fresh Studio die. I will list that in the description box below. It obviously isn't. This card is going to be a 4x9 when I'm finished. This portion right here, I believe, is 3 3/4 by 8 3/4. So the stencil wasn't long enough, and all I did was match it up, and then I went ahead and shifted it down. Now there's little etching on this stencil, and that's how you do the shifting. So I'm lining up where the etched trees are, and that will give me the perfect placement for my next color, which is going to be Peacock Feathers. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'll do the ink blending, and then I will move the stencil so you can see that the stencil isn't reaching as far over to the left as it should be. So I'm being very careful not to get my brush over onto the piece of cardstock. And I will take this stencil and I will shift it. And what I'm going to need to do is there's just a little bit of the tree that's going to show on the left side. So I'll quickly add that little bit. Here's where I'm lining it up. You can see there's just a little bit. It's not anything significant, but I did think that with the right side having that would balance out the card. These are some action wobblers. I do not know where I got these from. I am going to put the action wobblers on the back of my angels. I thought it would be really fun for them to have that spring action. So I'm just trying to figure out where they're going to be placed and if I'm going to have enough room for the sentiments that I want to put down. I'm putting this in my Misty, and then I'm going to take my 3 sentiments. So the one for the top is the gift of peace, the middle one is the gift of joy, and the bottom one is the gift of love. I'm going to stamp that using the same VersaFine ink. Then I will take a piece of lapis cardstock from Hero Arts. It will be cut to 8 by 9. I will score it at the 4-inch mark. There's my card base, and I'm going to glue that Pink Fresh Studio panel onto the front of that. I will add the action wobblers that are on the back of the angels, and that will pretty much complete my card. I want to thank you so much for watching today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Head over to Kelly's shop. She has some really fun products. She might still have this Pink Fresh Studio slimline die, which is absolutely beautiful. It's one of my favorites, and probably, I believe it's one of the first slimline dies that I actually purchased. I'm going to show you a quick look at the card, and then I will show you the final photograph. At the end of this, there'll be a couple of videos if you're interested in seeing more of what I create. Please subscribe, hit the like button if you liked the video. I absolutely appreciate everyone who has subscribed and who watches this channel on a regular basis. And until next time, I hope that you have a fabulous day.